Hey, what's going on, everyone? New World Order Survival Guy. If you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe. Today, I want to get into home prepping. Home prepping is a necessity for all types of events. Um, Very important to include in your preps, as well as other prepping such as bug out and alternate locations and stuff like that. Many reasons to home prep. That's going to be your first and foremost, unless stuff starts getting real harsh around your neighborhood and your basically life is in jeopardy being at home. But the first step is prepping at home. Um, One of the obviously most basic things for home prepping is um, natural disasters. Natural disasters, um, system outages that can go with your phones, computers, GPS, anything you may find that is connected to the system, electronics, that is going to be detrimental to today's society. Because everybody, especially the younger generation, relies on computers and cell phones. That's their communication. That's everything. So we'll actually get into more of that in a bit. Um, so let's see. You got natural disasters, you got floods, you got fires, you got hurricanes, you got tornadoes, you got earthquakes. Um, it is detrimental, obviously, if you're from any of these areas, to collect supplies to sustain yourself in these type of events. As people seen with the hurricanes, it is crucial. And then sometimes there's just not much you could do for your home, but for yourself is a big one. You know, because if it destroys your neighborhood, your city, and stuff like that, your car, and you can't relocate, you can't go on the move, you're going to be stuck. Say if there's trees knocked down in the road, telephone poles, something of that sort, any sort of debris, you're not going to be able to go anywhere if your car is okay to drive. So you got to have supplies on hand in your home. If you have a basement, that's great. Unless there's some sort of massive flood, then it's not so great. But just depending on what kind of natural disaster it is, supplies, supplies, supplies. Always good to have water. In order to have water, you need to have containers for water. I suggest various size containers, um, big tanks of some sort, at least semi-big tanks. Um, Obviously, manageable, portable, carrying jugs so you can go retrieve water if you know where clean water is, or you can just store the water. You need water, obviously. Um, Very crucial. Earthquakes, I mean, those of you in California and Alaska and other places that are heavily earthquaked often. Um, you need supplies. I mean, what would you do in a hurricane? I mean, your house is destroyed. You ain't got many options. Because if your house is destroyed, then most stuff is in it is going to be destroyed. It's just a real necessity to keep stuff put in a safe location according to your situation of natural disasters in your area. So, like fires, it'd be best to obviously keep stuff in the basement or keep stuff in some sort of brick shed or something. It's just good to have things not all in one basket around or in your house, but easy accessible and other places that's convenient for you. So natural disasters is a big one. I mean, it really is. So think about that. I already know you have, because if you live in there, you're fair warned all the time and you're used to the elements of that. Another thing that goes with that and other things is utility outages. It could be a freeze. It could be any one of those natural disasters that take out your utilities, take out your electric, gas, water, even take out your sewage. Because power goes out, guess what? Your electricity obviously goes out, but also your water through your pipes and stuff, because those are delivered to you through pumps. And when those go out, you ain't getting water. If there's earthquakes or anything else, it could damage and rupture water lines, gas lines, and sewage lines, and you could be out of commission for all that. A lot of people don't think about sewage. If you're having issues, like if your toilet doesn't work, for one, it ain't going to flush because there ain't no water pumping through to flush that. And the water you do have on hand, you're really not going to want to waste that water depending on the situation. You're not really going to want to waste that water. A couple gallons just to flush whatever's in there. And unless you have a stockpile of water, unless you have a good size water tank, you got to kind of evaluate the necessity of the event that's happening, and you kind of prejudge that by past events that's happened and how long it takes for government help to respond, which we all seen in Helene, that they don't really respond at all. So look out for your own, look out for yourself, your family, your neighborhood, because you already know government ain't going to help you. So having some sort of propane tank can go a long way, especially when you're talking about for heat, for cooking. Because normally I'd say, hey, you could just gather wood and stuff like that, but if there's a flood or hurricane or something like that, wood ain't going to be readily available to use. It's going to be soaked as wood. and the last thing you want to do is sit there and try to dry it out. I mean, it's gonna be a nightmare. So having some sort of natural gas stockpiled in a tank, propane, something, um, even like white gas, camping fuel, and stuff like that. Those are all useful. Then you can use it in camping stoves, um, stuff like that, man. I mean, you can even dump some of that liquid gas on, your charcoal or other wood that you have stockpiled, and you can even dry some of that wet wood out, um, and use it for cooking, use it for boiling water. It's all sorts of stuff, as well as lanterns and stuff that you can use for light, because light is going to be an issue. Batteries will only last so long, especially when you're relying on it and you're using it every day. So that's another good thing to consider. Anyway, I want to move on to home security breaching. This is some more of the outages I'm talking about. Let's move to security breaching. Now, there's many things that can go along with this in your home. There's property theft, things out in your yard, your car, your garden. Your garden can be compromised. Not even talking about natural disasters. I'm talking about people coming after your fruits and vegetables and other supplies that they may find useful on your property. You have home theft. People wanting to break in your home, whether it's a home invasion or breaking in when you're not home. Cleaning you out of your food, water, medications, anything they may find useful, and take it from you. They will be looking for ammo, firearms, just about anything. So that is something serious to think about, man. I mean, I say you can get cameras. Who knows what's going to work after systems down. I guess it's good to have it, and just in case that ain't the issue that'll be happening. But thieves are going to be everywhere. They're all going to scrounge and find supplies, opportunities, advantages to make their lives better. They don't care about taking from anybody else. It's just like criminals, except for an emergency situation, everybody's going to be a criminal or just about everybody's going to be a criminal to take care of their own. And in desperate situations, they'll take your life to get it. So, civil unrest. Civil unrest, people getting pissed, people getting burnt out of their situation. This more goes along with some kind of, it could happen, and it has happened with like natural disasters, like with the hurricane. They ain't getting no help, so they just start breaking in houses. Especially you leave your home to get to safety, as the news calls out, people are going in your houses and taking anything of value. Civil arrest, they could be coming down your neighborhood. They could just destroy. They could just harass. They could be pissed at Trump being in office like these people are already threatening. They're already saying go door to door, even threatening lives of Trump voters. I mean, anything can happen. You have to be ready for that. Even if you didn't vote for Trump, they could just assume. They just want to terrorize. I mean, look at Black Lives Matter. Look at I don't know if you remember this group, this corporation, Acorn, through Obama. They'd organize all sorts of little events. It could happen. It's going to happen. Can't say exactly it's going to happen in your tiny little neighborhood, but it's going to happen throughout the United States. You got these invaders that came over, and they're going to be cut off of any funding, supposedly. So what are they going to do? You think they're just going to tuck tail and go back to Venezuela or wherever? No. They ain't going out with a fight. They don't want to go back to that shit. They go back. They might go back to the prison or whatever. Who knows? But it ain't going to be good regardless. You got to worry about arson. People burning your house. You vote for the toupee man. You get some libtards that's going to be pissed about that. May light a torch to your house. What are you going to do if that happens? If we're in a society that's broken, where no government is going to come and help, any government-funded emergency type offices, whatever, like police, fire, anything like that. What are you going to do? You need to protect. You need to find ways and pre-plan ahead of time of what you're going to do in certain situations. Yes, I'd have some fire extinguishers, but that ain't going to put out a house fire. That's why you want to prevent, best as you can, the opportunity for them setting your house afire. It happens all the time, every day in the United States. As shit gets crazier, people are going to get crazier, and they're going to do more and more reluctant shit. They're not going to care. Maybe, a neighbor that don't like you. Maybe it's you ain't giving nobody no food, and they really ain't got no weapons to come and take it from you. So they're just going to destroy what you have. Maybe they're going to come in your yard and stomp the shit out of your garden. Ruin it somehow. You have to be prepared for that. Vandalism. People throwing rocks through your window. Damaging your car. Putting sugar in your gas tank. I mean, there's a million different ways to vandalize someone's home or property and make it hell for them. There ain't going to be no insurance or anything for you to make it better, help the cause. That's the point I'm getting at. There's not going to be all that. Another thing, martial law. What are you going to do when FEMA, Homeland Security, Department of Defense, police state, martial law, military come banging at your door, kicking in your door, getting supplies, like FEMA has a complete government-backed laws to go ahead and do, is take from you prepping supplies, anything, batteries, water, food, camping gear, survival gear, blankets, anything. They have the government okay to come and take anybody's shit at any time. They already wrote that shit into law. Under any emergency type situation that they deem see fit, they can come and take it. I did a show on that a while back. And they will. And they know who the preppers are. They know who makes videos. They know who watches these videos. They know what you buy with their credit cards. They know. So what I suggest is, if he even comes close to that, I'd go find a place to bury that or take it in an undisclosed location. So they come knocking your door, I ain't got shit. Well, we're searching your house. Go ahead, man. They're going to find nothing. They can't prosecute. They can't take nothing that you don't have. That's what it comes down to. They're not going to take, they can't take something you ain't got at your house. I don't care what they think you have. If you don't have it, what are they going to do? But martial law is being spit all over the TV, on news, alternative news, independent journalists, all these things. Political figures talking about it. It's always an option. Especially how crazy the United States and the rest of the world is getting today. They can issue martial law anytime. They do it actually quite frequently, and it gets swept under the rug. Nobody really knows about it too much. I mean, they used it in Katrina, in New Orleans. They're going house to house, taking people's guns. They did it in the Boston bombing. They were going house to house in that neighborhood, confiscating people's guns. In New Orleans, they're even riding in boats, little John boats, taking people's guns that are trying to escape their neighborhoods from the massive floods, and just taking everybody's shit. For what reason? You know, you can figure that out. So, I mean, when these stores go down, obviously you ain't going to be able to get shit. People are just going to go in there and just take. They're going to hoard it. They're going to get it. They ain't going to sit there and try to leave some for anybody else. They're raiding the place. I mean, they're just going to absolutely get anything and everything they can, and it'll get dirty. People, I mean, look at some of these Black Fridays in the past. People actually killed people for sales. Now, you talking about life or death situations and natural disasters or massive civil unrest or wars, or, you know, it's all or nothing for them, because they ain't going to get this opportunity again, because once this store is ransacked completely, they ain't got no other stores to go to, because while you're in here ransacking this store completely, as well as tons of other people, what do you think the other stores are going to be going on right then and there? It's going to be the same thing as this store at the same time. It's best to stock up and keep it quiet. You're going to get people going to your bank, knocking on your door, harassment. You're going to get people knocking on your door that are beggars and con artists, begging you for the shit. Find out you have some, it's just a big contract. Then they're going to come over with more people. They're going to find out weaknesses. And they're going to take it. I'd be real skeptical of people knocking on your doors, even neighbors, unless you're just that tight with that neighbor. But I'm not. Anywhere over here, nope. My neighbors don't even know I do this show. 99% of everybody I know don't know I do this show. So, I don't tell them I have anything. And if I do, I just minimize it. You're going to get people that's going to rob your house. They're going to be making their way, robbing through neighborhoods. And they often read what's in your front yard, kind of depicts of what's in your house. Like, if they've seen four-wheelers in front of your house, boat, them sort of pickup trucks where you look like you'd have guns and you look like you'd be some sort of prepper, camper, you're going to have supplies in your house, more than likely. Home invasions, they're just going to come in, they're going to take whatever. But in a crazy situation, it could be worse than just an armed home invasion robbery. They could be wanting to take your kids or wife or something for some kind of trafficking or just their personal sexual pleasure. You just don't know in this day and age. Have to be ready for this crazy shit. You think that ain't gonna happen, but look how much child abduction and stuff is happening already. It's through the roof right now. Why stuff is pretty calm. There's not going to be no jobs. There ain't going to be no money flow. So that type of stuff is going to be the only means of money for a lot of these just people out there. Gang members, maybe not so much American gang members, but some of these foreign opposition gang members like from Venezuela, and you got MS-13 throughout here. There's a lot of nutcases here. And they're going to find a way to make money, get supplies, other than stealing. They're going to do abductions. Any of that's possible and probable. So theft. They come steal your gas out of your car with siphon. They come steal anything. FEMA, IRS. Who knows what kind of shit they're going to pull. People ain't going to be able to pay their bills. Systems going to be out. Electronics will be out. Everything's on computer nowadays, online. That's going to be cut off. And, you got to take care of yours. You can't sit there and pay bills right now, and you'll figure that out later. Well, why do they arm, like 80,000 IRS members fully armed? They pre-plan that for some sort of future event. Are they going to come door to door and collect for all that who owes? They're going to seize property. Why arm IRS heavily? Damn near militarize them. FEMA 2. FEMA 2. I'm not talking about just the basic social worker and FEMA people, even though they're pieces of shit too. I'm talking about the other sector of FEMA, the enforcement sector of FEMA. Everybody be alert of that. Even typical law enforcement. They're shitting on regular law enforcement, but then again, you're having, I'm not saying all, but a lot of law enforcement are doing scandalous shit, just following orders, and they're going to be coming door to door. They're going to, they're the ones taking the guns and enforcing anti-Second Amendment. So try to buy stuff with cash. You go to the bank, get a withdrawal, go buy guns, go buy ammo. Go buy supplies. Try not to buy that much stuff with credit cards, debit cards, and things like that. That can be tracked and linked. Friends, family, and neighbors. You know who you can absolutely trust. And there's people that you think you can trust, but you're not sure. Well, remember, desperate people do desperate things in desperate times. They could be the biggest church-going, loving, great person, but desperate times calls for desperate measures. Anybody would about do anything to feed their family. And if somebody knows you have some, they find any wink of an opportunity, they're going to come get it from you. This is so important, man. This is so important. Because people often don't think. They think they could just trust their surroundings. I mean, you have a uncle that you definitely want on your side. But he is like tight with your other uncle. But you're not tight with that other uncle. You know that he's scandalous and shady and shit like that. Well, if they're tight, he's going to push the issue of pulling them on in, and it's going to be a big mess. He'll talk to him about it, and then the uncle that you don't like, is going to be like, well, fuck that, dude. If he don't like me, then I'm going to go take his shit. That's the way a lot of people are. Especially if you're in a big city where, it's dog-eat-dog type environment. That's going to happen. You need your keepings safe. Find spots, stash spots where you can keep your stuff safe. Whether it's from the elements, whether it's from wild animals or wild people. You need to keep stuff in safe locations. Don't keep your eggs in one basket, like I always say, because that's just dangerous. That's just stupid. You have to spread it around in different locations where nobody knows where it is, except for your very few. Or, you know who you can trust and who you can't. For the most part, You can't just throw cans of food and bury it. You have to put it in some sort of containers or water ain't going to get to it. Obviously, you're not going to stick bottled waters, hide it in a shed, especially in a freezing location where they're just going to freaking explode anyways. Underground, for the most part, it'll keep it from freezing unless you're in some kind of Alaska or certain parts of Canada where, it has that thermal frost or whatever. Disposable waste. Where are you going to throw your trash? Where are you going to put your trash? And if your toilets don't work, where are you going to put that waste? You can't just do it in the toilet even though it doesn't flush. I mean, that's going to cause nasty, bad bacteria. It's going to be not good. A not good situation. You have to dispose of it properly. And the best way is absolutely keeping the urine and the feces separate, because that's what really forms a toxic environment right there. So, I mean, if you ever got to look at India and their problem with that, it is absolutely horrendous. That what they have to go through. There's this, I forget what city it is over there in India, but everybody does it by this body of water. I can't remember if it's some inlet from the ocean or if it's a lake. It's some pretty large body of water, but they've been using it as a restroom for decades, and it's just totally nasty and just way defecated. It is ruined. I don't think it'll ever be good, be normal again. I mean, it is. I've seen videos of it. It is so freaking disgusting, man. I don't know what else they're supposed to do, but I mean, I would not have chose a damn water source. That they could have used it for drinking water and stuff instead of a big ass toilet. Diseases, bacteria, parasites, just all kinds of stuff could affect where you have that waste at. So, burying it is definitely a good thing, especially if it's just away from your garden and things like that. Do not put it in any body of water. I mean, that should be self-explanatory. I mean, because you're going to need that water maybe someday. Somebody else will, whatever. It's just pretty self-explanatory on that. Medical supplies, hospitals ain't going to be open. All these clinics that I'd say half or more people go to these medical clinics, these urgent care centers and stuff like that. That's not full-on hospitals. They go to these clinics. Those ain't going to be open. They're not like a regular hospital where they're always open 24/7 anyways. These things, a lot of these people are off during the holidays and everything else. So if anything happens, they're going to be shut down. Guarantee it. Bartering items. It's always good to have bartering items. I mean, the list goes on and on of what is the best to barter. Just depends on where you're at and who you're bartering with. It's always good to have bartering items. There's a lot of common sense, common denominator with the bartering items, such as batteries, water filtration, lighters, fuel, clothes. I don't think anybody's gonna be really hurting off clothes too much because there's just so much clothes in this damn country. But you know, it's possible. Food, like I said before, seeds, fruits and vegetable seeds, non-hybrid, non-GMO, heirloom seeds, always a great bartering item. Yeah. So, hygiene products is also something very good to stockpile and barter. Deodorant, soaps, shampoos, things of such, toothbrushes, toothpaste. Very good to have. That's probably a lot things that people don't really think about too much or stockpile too much. And it'd be a real treat to have some of these items in a shit hits the fan situation. You get toothbrushes cheap. You ain't even got to get the good ones. Just get a bunch of mediocre toothbrushes. Get them on sale. Get them on clearance. Get them for like 40, 50 cents a piece. Get a little shoebox full or something like that, and it is great for bartering. Plus, you'll have toothbrushes forever. It's always good to have an escape plan. Have a master plan. If this happens, we do this. Plan A, B, and C. Somebody breaks in. This is what we do. This is where the firearm is, hidden under here. Have a plan for communication goes out. What are you going to do for that? What are you going to do if martial law is coming? Where are you going to go? If you ain't thought about it, you're going to be in trouble. Because you're going to make a quick decision, and it's more likely going to be the wrong decision because you ain't got time to sit there and plan it out. It's always best to pre-plan all this shit. Where are you going for your water? What are you going to do if your child gets hurt? Gas. You run out of gas, whatever. Where can you go get gas? What bus station, taxi service, business, whatever, where are you going to get gas? You have to go over there and siphon gas. Now, this is just an absolute emergency. You have to know what to do in certain circumstances of emergency situations. It's going to be chaotic enough rather than just sit here and plan when it's already too late. Toilet paper. That's another thing. You see how quick that toilet paper went. What do you got to do? You got to save up some toilet paper. Do it now. That stuff ain't going to go bad. Just keep it in a dry location. Keep that handily ready. Keep black trash bags. So if you have to make some sort of makeshift toilet, or you're going to throw away stuff or something like that, take it to a location in black trash bags. You probably going to have to, I guess most people are going to burn their stuff. They're like trash and stuff. I mean, you really have no choice. Otherwise, there's just going to be a big old pile of trash that's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And if everybody does it, it's going to be a serious, serious problem. Knowledge is king. It's good to study stuff now. It's good to buy books and learn how to forage and learn how to clean water and purify water and grow a garden. Learn the ins and outs of a garden. It's good to learn how to mend the soil, how to take care of bugs that are affecting your garden. It's very important to learn that. And just, it's like a lost trait these days. You know, you get some people that still do this stuff, but it's they don't do it like they used to do it. These new generations, they're not interested in that. They're interested in this. Get books, study it, take classes if you can. I mean, it's good to learn first aid. I mean, that stuff is going to be like gold. It's going to be worth more than gold when the time comes. Pet supplies. What are you going to feed your pets? It's good to have, maybe a little stockpile, maybe like 10 big 40-pound bags of dog food that you get over time. You take that in consideration. It's so much going. It's so stressful to sit there and prep for everything, but I mean, it'll make your life easier. What are you gonna do for your dogs, your cats? You may just have to let them go, but they're indoor cats. They're not used to hunting for their mice and stuff. I think cats would be a little better off than dogs, just because cats are more agile and you get rodents and stuff that climb up the trees, and I mean, cats are quick. And they got them sharp claws that retract and just they can hunt a little better than dogs. You need your protection. You need your firearms. You need ammo. What guns you have, get it while you can. You got Trump said that he's for the Second Amendment, but all he did is try to take away and just infiltrate our Second Amendment rights. And you guys think Trump is one way, but he's already filling in his cabinet with some crooked motherfuckers already. Matt Gaetz, Tulsi Gabbard, Marco Rubio. He didn't even like Marco Rubio. And Marco Rubio didn't like him. They publicly sat there and talked shit about each other. Telling each other how corrupt they are and all this crap. And now Trump hires them on? What the hell's going on here? Just like last time, he filled his people running the economics of the United States. They were Rothschilds on his last term. He's still filling in his cabinet, but I'll tell you, I'm watching this, y'all. I'm looking. I'm not just gonna blindly go, oh, well, why trust Trump? And no. He's a globalist. He works for the globalists. Is any talks about these wars ending? No, they're getting more and more. The threats from Russia, knowing that Trump is going to be in office, it's just intensifying. It's no different from who's in now, no different from Biden or anything. But I'm telling you, they just pass the ball on to the next candidate, and that's what it is. That's what they always do. Bush passed it on to Obama. Obama passed it on to Trump. Trump passed it on to Biden. Biden's passing it on to Trump, and so forth. It's just that's the way it's always been. They're all crooked. They're two wings of the same bird. It's just all bullshit. So, anyways, guns, ammo, build your ammo supply, build your seed bank. Get seeds. Have a nutrient abundant type of food source planned out. Freeze dried food is damn near a must over any other foods. It's the longest term. It's just super. I mean, you need long-term food. These seeds, you want heirloom, because heirloom will produce fruit that can produce more seeds that will actually grow, and they'll be equivalent to the first fruit grown from that seed. You take the seeds out of the fruits at a grocery store, they're not going to grow. And if they grow, they're going to be stunted. And say you do get like a little freaking avocado, orange, whatever. If they do have seeds in it at all, well, avocados will, but if the orange or whatever has seeds in it, watermelon, they're going to grow a little stunt thing, and those seeds that they produce are not going to grow anything. That's what they were genetically modified to do, is not grow. And you might be more susceptible to bugs and shit, but you have to learn how to manage that. Those are easily manageable. So that's basically what I got. Communication. You have these ham radios. You have ways to generate power to these ham radios with these little devices. They almost all take USB cords now. They do have regular battery operated ones. They have these power banks. They have all kinds of stuff that you could, and little solar bank things. You can generate power to recharge it. You're getting a signal that's not linked to any system. It's just generated by frequencies and stuff like that. That's what you really need to stay active in some sort of communication when you're going to be apart from your friends and loved ones for a while. Shit hits the fan. Don't expect mail to be running. Obviously, it's not. I mean, it'll be dangerous for the mailman and the roadways and this and that. Shit hitting the fan is not fun. It's not fun. It's nuts. So that's why I just want to bring up some points, some things to think about that maybe you may haven't thought about, or something that you want to work on to make you and your family's life that much better off than you were before. And that's what this is all about. It's just trying to think of options and make plans and gather supplies and like a think tank, man, on a lot of these outlets. You know, it's just not that they're bringing anything new, like what I told you. You know, like, oh fuck, I had never thought about that. It's just reiterating thought process into your heads. It's kind of like a think tank, man. You know, just put your thoughts together. If you guys have something you would like to add into the comments, please do that. Because, you know, I don't have all the answers. I'm just a guy, you know, that does this little show, just thinking, just trying to, you know, because Trump's in office. War's not over. Trouble's not over. Civil unrest isn't over. Matter of fact, it amplified because all these psychotic libtards that are flipping out, threatening everybody's life, threatening to damage property, and talking about coming after the kids and all this shit. You know, it's just amplified. So, and it can get out of hand real quick because nobody's going to let these retards, you know, it's not going to be the attack of the trannies, you know, because who's gonna let these freaking idiots do that? You know what I mean? They're going to put the hurts on them. So, you know, that's all I got. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching. It's a crazy world out there. And it's just best to be prepared for any situation, you know, short and long term. Think of all possibilities. Keep your eye on Trump. Because he's crooked, man. He's crooked. He just got a lot of you people fooled. But, you know, I'll be watching it. Just don't put... you guys are freedom-loving Americans, patriotic people out there. Just don't let him trick you, man. Because that's what he's doing. Just pay attention to some of the stuff that he's doing. And don't put your total faith in him. A lot of stuff that he said was great. Yeah. I hope he does what he says. But at the end of the day, I know he works for the deep state. I know he works for the globalists. You know, he's a multi-billionaire from New York City. And he hang out and is good buddies with all these crooked-ass globalists and has been for many, many, many decades. So, anyways, that's all I got. New World Order, survival guy. Catch you on the next one.